All right, so so we got to talk about this because you know what happened.
Holy
Peacock.
fuck.
Peacock had an absolute struggle for basically entrances. Now, luckily, we did not really miss a moment of the match itself, but there was
There were some nice entrances that we missed out on because Peacock was being a cock.
Twitter blew up.
Yeah.
Absolutely blew up. To the point where WWE had to say something.
Yeah.
And to what I heard from not only the Grapevine, but Peanut Gallery, McMahon was
Vince McMahon
irate.
is pissed.
I mean, this is the third pay-per-view with Peacock.
Right.
And I have heard 3 different times where there was a problem.
Yeah.
We personally never experienced an issue with Peacock until tonight.
Yep.
But this is egregiously bad.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
This is like rookie stuff.
this is NBC Universal. This is a multi-billion-dollar company with a B.
Right.
Can you really say that WWE Network can stream better than a multi-billion-dollar streaming service?
Right.
Come on. I mean, if it was like early enough, whatever, but at this point, you should have fucking have had this covered.
Yes.
But anyway, the match itself was very good.
It was, in my opinion, it was not as memorable, I don't think, as the women's one was.
Right.
There were some good moments in it.
John Morrison was the most over person in this match.
Also, Ricochet.
Ricochet was
What
awesome.
the fuck was that guy doing?
Ricochet is just doing Ricochet things. That's essentially what that was. How this guy has not gotten any further up the card, I'll never know. But hopefully, this is signs of better things to come for the guy.
The whole devolution of Seth Rollins, into complete. We'll talk about it later.
Oh yeah,
but he is going to complete utter madness because of course the winner of the match was Big E.
I was surprised about that.
I was surprised, but
it was a feel-good moment.
I was pleasantly surprised. I loved it. It was great.
Here's my thing. I could have pretty much looked at everybody in this match, and they could have justifiably won.
Right.
The one that I probably would have wanted to win the least was Drew McIntyre.
Right.
No offense, but Drew McIntyre is already a bona fide main eventer. This thing is supposed to be like the next step.
Right.
Of that lineage.
And Big E should have been world champion a decade ago, but we digress.
I don't know. I think he really wasn't into his own until now.
Right.
He really came out of his shell with New Day.
But my point being is that he should have been world champion already, but
better late than never, I guess.
Right. But
he won. It was a feel-good moment.
Yep.
People lost their minds. It was a really good feel-good moment, and it was really cool to see in front of people.
It was.
Overall, I really enjoyed it. All right, Peanut Gallery, let's make WWE Money in the Bank. Apparently, Peacock. We'll talk about that later. And Pro Wrestling Majestic again. Let's talk about this match. I really could not have done anything differently other than Mysterio's entrance. That was annoying.
Pretty much. All right.
I don't know what else to say.
We're done. That's it.
Okay.
I wish
why do they want to do this to Kingston?
Right.
I don't understand why. What is wrong with Kingston? He's worked with a company long fucking enough. It's not like Kofi Kingston's a small dude. He's very tall.
Right.
And he works really well.
Why did you let Bobby Lashley do a squash match against
Absolutely
Kingston?
annihilate him. You could have done it with anybody else. Maybe even bring up somebody else to that level and give them that kind of opportunity. Kingston's already a main eventer. Why did you do that to him?
I mean, you just diminish his character.
But at the same time, why didn't you do anything after like you did with Reigns Cena?
Right.
You could have at least done something like, oh, Goldberg. Well, at this point, I don't know who's going to face Lashley at this point.
I don't care. Because Lashley's
they need it for SummerSlam.
I know.
They need it for SummerSlam. They need somebody else for SummerSlam because they haven't built stars.
It's going to be Oldberg. I fucking hate Oldberg.
That's not even make pro wrestling majestic again. Unfortunately, they don't.
That is making pro wrestling boring again.
It makes it 2020 election majestic again. Mick.
It is making it Saudi Arabia majestic again.
Makes Arizona audit majestic again. Anyway, so I literally couldn't have done better. I think everybody in here was justified of winning it. The pacing was really well. And but let's talk about Peacock.
What a fucking peacock.
This was inexcusable. Inexcusable.
All right, who's the intern that tripped over the wire?
I don't know what happened.
Because that's literally what happens. Someone tripped over the wire.
Something, I can't tell.
There was an intern that tripped over the wire. It was the worst day of their lives.
McMahon is irate.
Oh, of course he is.
And this is embarrassing for... Honestly, at this point, I cannot even blame WWE. This was all Peacock.
No, it was.
Because guess what? Internationally, all of this stuff was working totally fine. This was a Peacock problem. And unfortunately, with being in America, there wasn't an option for a difference.
Unless you were doing ESPN illegal.
Right. Well, I even tried. I couldn't find anything. And we actually looked of doing a person who was doing a third-party stream on it.
Right.
And it was working by the time I got down here to the studio and started to work on it. But at the same time, and it was during entrances, but once again, you missed that. You missed those moments of somebody coming out, that kind of specialty. And,
right. You missed Rick Boogs doing his whole entrance with
the guitar
King Nakamura.
And everything.
You missed
Drew McIntyre coming out with the sword all of a sudden. I don't know why. And with that, I'm not sure if you saw
the sword of the Loch Ness Monster.
Also, I'm not sure if you saw it, but during the entrance, there was pretty much a piece of cardboard that was put up and painted to look like a rock. I'm not sure if you saw it.
No.
It was... And that's what Drew McIntyre is doing with it. He's putting it in this thing of rock, and it looks dog shit. It's really bad.
Is it like card?
No, it's painted horribly. It's so bad. Look it up after. It's really bad. You miss Kevin Owens. You miss, John Morrison, who is very over.
Yeah.
You miss a lot of this. And once again, with wrestling, everything matters. Entrance, gear.
You even missed the pre-entrance where they had interaction.
They had skits with Boone and Riddle and all of this where it could have been really funny, and I heard it actually was really funny. You missed that personality. You missed that additional depth of field.
And I think that kind of ruined the match for me.
Right. It felt kind of sour for me, and it was all Peacock's fault. This was all Peacock.
Fuck the cock. Well, hold on.
Fuck the bird. Fuck you. Why does everything with a bird suck? Birds are terrible. They should all be blown out of the sky and
fuck
raped.
The owl.
Right. Anyway, okay.
Speaking of fucking owls, let's talk about Paul Heyman.
Okay. I want to make this very clear.
This match was boring. I did not care one bit.
We did not know of the chemistry between Reigns and Edge until this match.
Because the only other time they interacted was with Daniel Bryan involved. Daniel Bryan carries matches. That's just his thing.
Roman Reigns is awesome. Edge is awesome. But this is just a situation where two guys just don't click. And it happens a lot.
It does.
And luckily, with the ending of this, with Cena coming out, Reigns and Cena have a chemistry.
Right.
And this match is going to be nothing but just beautiful.
It'd be fantastic.
If you don't go out of there pregnant, there's something wrong with you.
Are you kidding me? I'm already pregnant just thinking about the match.
Nick. But anyway, the match was boring. It really was. I really can't do anything to save it. I guess at the same time, Edge did win the Royal Rumble. He needed at least a one-on-one. It was fine. I can't really say anything bad about it. Same thing.
Okay, so problem is that how can you not have a perfect match between these two? Their chemistry is awesome.
This was the best match that they have had.
Oh, yeah.
Of all the matches. WrestleMania, The one with In Your House with Io Shirai. Their match last, even with Hell in a Cell, even though I lost,
right?
Or even though I won some bullshit. God bless it. This one just length, pacing, facial expressions, brutality, everything.
I was disappointed that Becky Lynch did not come out.
I feel like it would have been a feel-good moment overall with the fans. They chanted, "We want Becky," but I feel like it was shut down quickly because the match was so great. And the crowd could not do anything. They couldn't. You cannot go against this match. It was that good. Mm-hmm. God, it was spectacular. And once again, another absolutely spectacular match. Even though the Viking Raiders lost this match, they lost it with pretty much the best match they have had.
I think this is a Viking Experience's best match in the WWE.
By a mile. By an absolute mile.
And of course, I called them the Viking Experience on purpose.
Because it's a Viking Experience.
Exactly.
Because they trended. Omos, I will say, he can take some bumps. I kind of wish he went off of his feet a little bit more.
Right.
I feel like it really could have given credence to the Viking, the Viking experience. Might as well just call him that at this point. I feel like it would have given more credence to them as a team, and I felt like everyone was on point. Right. This was an on-point match, and this is what happens when you make pro wrestling majestic again. You get great matches like this.
You get AJ Styles carrying that team, but it's no fault.
And once again, I feel okay. This was definitely the strongest of the 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. Mm-hmm.
I
could even say this is probably one of the strongest women's Money in the Bank ladder matches that I've ever seen.
Probably.
Actually, you know what? This one was the best women's Money in the Bank ladder match I've ever seen.
Ooh, you're gonna go that far?
I think I am, because it started in 2017.
2017, something like that.
And then they fucked it up, so they had to do it again because there was Carmella's and, with James Ellsworth. Yeah, the 2018. Yeah, the 2019, which was not Asuka's. I can't remember who won it. Anyway, and then 2020s, which I did like, and I thought they did a really good job, but it wasn't like your traditional. But this one, there was just something about it. There was a magic about like different people in this match that really kind of came together in a wonderful experience.
The right people were involved in it.
Absolutely. Everyone who was involved was over in some way, shape, or form. I feel like the attention...
Well, I mean, of course, except for Natalya and fucking...
They were good workhorses that were in there. I thought they did well for what they were supposed to do.
But you can tell from the fans, they're about as over as a fart in church.
Well, the focus was on Liv Morgan, Nikki ASH, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka. Those were the focus.
Oh, yeah.
Naomi to a point, because Naomi's just great.
Zelina Vega, because she's a traitor.
Right. Well, once again, we don't want to talk about her. But
she did not make pro wrestling majestic.
But the thing is, I want to say this because the winner of this match was exactly what it was supposed to be. The launching point of a career that could be nothing but great.
Right.
And you'll be like, oh, what about a superhero? Superheroes can be over. Look at the Hurricane. Right. Look at Rosie.
Right.
Superhero in training. That shit was over.
Shit, literally and figuratively.
Do you remember in 2004 the Hurricane and Rosie were the most popular thing on Raw?
Right.
By a mile.
And Rosie was the shit. He was the superhero in training.
Right. And it was awesome. Nikki Ash has the talent, the charisma, and the ability to do this. And she can. And I think this is just that additional launch
They're
for
strapping
it.
that Virgin rocket ship onto
her,
man.
Honestly, that was it for Money in the Bank. So here's the thing. Let me know what you think in the comments down below.
What's going on next week?
All right, Boone. Or Boogs, or whatever his name is. Despite what happened, we're still going to cover New Japan. We're just going to do it a little bit differently.
Yes.
We're going to be covering Summer Struggle in Nagoya. And we're going to be covering Wrestle Grand Slam.
Yes.
And by that time, I'm hoping that we will have our original channel back. We'll still upload here, But we should have our original channel back, so
Right.
stay tuned for that.
The week afterwards, though, we're going to do something really, really interesting because there are no pay-per-views that last weekend.
Right, and we'll talk about that next week.
All right. So, follow us on social media. Become a patron, of course.
All of it is in
amazing.
Linktree down below in the description. And as always, be
Majestic.